Hey, what do you say, everybody? Gio Seti back at you here. As you're with me tonight or during the day tomorrow on the one and only Focus to the Finish YouTube channel. So, what are we here for? I'm going to share some, thoughts about thoroughbred racing as a whole, recapping the year, just some thoughts to take with you into 2026. So, as I record this on New Year's Eve, we close out 2025. And like I said, I always consider every one of you viewers a friend of mine. Many of you folks, men and women alike, I've actually interacted with through email. Many folks I've actually had very lengthy telephone conversations about regarding the sport of kings, thoroughbred racing as we know it, and about life itself. So I did want to thank you for being part of Focus to the Finish and everything that I like to share with the sport of kings. So the appreciation is always there. But what I like to do to close out a year, all right, and I thought maybe some of you would gravitate to this and maybe you do it yourself. We're here because together we're here because we enjoy thoroughbred horse racing. Now, I like to emphasize that because it's always been the flats with me. It's never harness racing. If some of you are also interested in harness racing, that's your choice if you like the trotters or the paces. But when I talk about horse racing, it's strictly thoroughbred race horsing. Thoroughbred race, did I say race horsing? Horse racing. Hey, like I said, I do these shows in the raw. There's no takes and editing and all that. I just wing it. All right. I'm a lot of things, and I'm gaining in my technology ways in terms of making these video presentations, but I just wing it. So one of the things that I did just yesterday is I took care of my statistical information in terms of how 2025 was panned out. What were the results of 2025 for me? Obviously, we put a lot of time and effort into the interest that we have. And this, aside from all the specific responsibilities we all have in life, we're here for one common denominator. We enjoy thoroughbred racing. And I am very passionate about all that I bring to you, my viewers. So what I did, I said, let me break down three things for myself. I want to know, A, what my bottom line was from a cost perspective. How much did I put into the game and what was my bottom line, And it's not always favorable, as you know. And I break things down month over month. And I break things down characterizing the wages. For example, month over month, 12 months of the year, I don't have to give you the raw data. I had 7 winning months and I had 5 losing months. Now, 7 is better than 5. Now, within those losing months, I had some wonderful winning days or winning races. And in the winning months, I had many bad beat days or unfortunate days. Remember, the way I rank things, and I break it down based on wagers too, I like exotic wagering. So if I was strictly a win, place, and show better, not many people get involved with place and show, but I know from a win perspective, if per every 100 races that I handicap or I get involved in, my expectations are to be somewhere in the area, based on my experience, of a strike rate or a win rate in the mid to upper 40s. So if I'm winning handicapping winners at a rate of 46, 47, 48%, I'm going to position myself for more success. And by the way, for anybody that's a public handicapper, that's darn good. And I'm not saying that with conceit. I'm saying that because of the decades of experience and the amount of time and effort, attention to detail that I put into it. I set the bar really high for myself. I don't want to pick a winner in 15 to 20% of the races I handicap. I want to be in the mid to upper 40s. Now, if anybody ever tells you they successfully handicap 60, 70%, it's a virtual impossibility. Nobody does. There's too many things that can go wrong. And we have hot streaks and we have cold streaks. And then I break things down based on the races itself. What is my record? What's my bottom line when it comes to graded stakes races? And then within the graded stakes races, where do I stand with the grade 1 races? Because, in theory, if I accelerate my effort to get even more involved with the grade 1 or grade 2 races, or those big cards that I often get involved with because I like to handicap a full card. But, keeping statistics for myself, and you guys, or you ladies, you keep statistics for yourself and break things down as you need to break it down. Believe me, you learn by doing. You grow through what you go through. Some of the habits that I had in my 20s and 30s, they're long gone. I'm a different player. Now, do I like the excitement of getting involved in every race that I play or handicap? Absolutely. I'll be the first to tell you, if it's a 12 race card with 4 stakes races, 2 of them graded, I'm going to have a wager on all 12 races if I completed my handicap on all 12 races, because I don't want to waste what would have been a successful handicap, even at the most minimal. Now, some people don't embrace that, and they say, you know what, I'm only going to play 2 or 3 races a day, and I'm going to live or die with those races. But if you're like me, with the attention to detail and how much work I put into it, if I'm covering a card, I'm playing the card. Now, sure, the races, the dollar amount, how you disperse your monies, that varies. Obviously, you're going to play some races stronger than others, but to cover a race, even at the bare minimum, okay, is essentially important, at least to me, okay? Because you know what I don't want to happen? I don't want to handicap a card and say, you know what, I like races 6, 9, and 10 the most. That's all I'm going to play. What if in those races 6, 9, and 10, my top choice, who I was really heavy on, loses by a neck, or I got my precise order produces 3 out of the top 4 finishes and I get beat. Meanwhile, I had 4 cold exactas on the other races, or 3 winners in 4 races out of the other races, where I let a double, a pick 3, even a pick 5 go by, and I didn't have any play on it. Another thing to do, and my apologies if I'm jumping from one thing to another, but I'm staying on the topic, at least because I'm talking about racing now and how we make ourselves accountable. I keep a very strict book, and my strict book shows where I am, what's my bottom line for each month and for the year regarding win bets or win place show bets, straight plays, exacta wagers, triple wagers, superfecta wagers, daily double wagers, pick 3 wagers, pick 4, pick 5, and pick 6. And you know something? I couldn't believe my number. I didn't have a good year with exactas. Did I handicap a lot of cold exactas? Absolutely. But my exacta success was way down because of the unfortunate circumstances of running first. And, if you handicap a 12 or 13 horse field, going a mile and a 16th on a lawn, regardless of the track, and they run first and third, and you lose the place to fill your exacta by a neck, nose, head, or even a length, and you were blocked in a stretch. There's so many things. We know all the variables, but it was one of those years where I had a greater strike rate on my superfecta wagers than I did on my exacta wagers. Now, how did that happen? I didn't hit more cold superfectas, but I used the tool of my superfecta key, where I was confident enough with my winner. And since I handicap a deep, especially if it's a long 10, 11 horse field, I'm going 5 or 6 deep in my handicap. And I used the strength of my superfecta key to be more successful with my superfectas, because we know, even though I cover my precise, even for $1, like I always talk about, because if I'm precisely right, 1 through 4, I want to get paid with that first. And then I know by default, I'll win my superfecta key. But anyway, I guess the point I'm making, know your wagers, know the exotics you're playing, and what your bottom line is for every one of your exotic wagers. So if you played, 52 weeks in a year, if you played an average of 1 pick 5 a week, it's 52 pick 5s. If you played 2 pick 5s a week, you get it. It would be 104 pick 5s. The reason why I'm emphasizing that, did my light go out? Hold on. Yeah. The reason why I'm emphasizing that is you'll know how much you put into the specific wager, and then how much success, or how much did you collect based on all those wagers. So at the end of the year, the end of each month, you'll know cost for your pick 5s, net result. Now, of course, there's a few tracks that still pay out a consolation, 4 out of 5. If you're collecting money, it still works into the equation. But obviously, you want to hit as many pick 5s as I can. The reason why I'm emphasizing pick 5s, and the same thing could go into a play with pick 4s, pick 3s, or even daily doubles, is that with the pick 5, I couldn't believe how often, and I keep my tickets skinny. I don't cowboy my tickets. Mr. Setti don't play $200, $150 tickets on a pick 5. My pick 5s are generally somewhere in the area of $54 less on a 50-cent pick 5. Now, you know how often I've gone 4 out of 5 and I tore up my ticket? So that's another footnote or indication I made. That's how you know if you're sharp or not. If you're playing pick 5s, whether you're spending $100 or $36, and you're only winning 2, maybe 3 of the races, then maybe you have to structure your pick 5 tickets a little differently, because your strike rate isn't really high. And what do I say often enough? If you're playing pick 5s or pick 4s, often, discipline yourself to nail a daily double or a pick 3 or even a strong win bet within that sequence. Because if you hit the double or pick 3 within a pick 5 or pick 4 sequence, then that finances the cost of your pick 5 ticket. And ultimately, your bottom line will be a more favorable one. Okay? So what lies ahead in 2026? Hey, you'll be hearing from me if you guys are on my email distribution list, which is focustotofinish@gmail.com. You'll be getting handicapping opportunities that I willingly share after I complete a handicap. Then I provide opportunities where I write a fully written handicap script covering a full card. There's lots going on all spring into the summer. You guys know the racing calendar, the Thoroughbred Racing calendar. So in January, we have the big Pegasus Day at Gulfstream Park. Then you get into February, March, and April. You got tons of quality, big-time Derby prep races stemming from everywhere around. The fairgrounds in Louisiana, Oaklawn Park in Arkansas, on the Naira Strip at Aqueduct. We have the exciting news that Belmont later on in the year is going to open its doors. It seems like it's gone forever. You're going to have big cards at Gulfstream Park later on in the spring. You know, the 3-year-old campaign is an exciting one. Leading to that first Saturday in May, you're going to have Keeneland, which I promised myself I'm making a Keeneland spring trip for the spring meet this year. You're going to have the Bluegrass at Keeneland. You're going to have the Florida Derby and the Wood Memorial and the Santa Anita Derby on the West Coast, all leading to that first Saturday in May. And the Triple Crown. And then we're going to have the excitement of the older horses and then the summer campaign. After the Triple Crown, of course, locally here in the Jersey Shore, we have the Haskell Stakes, which I'm a big part of every single year. We have the Saratoga meet, the summer at Saratoga. You got the summer at Ellis Park. You know, I don't need to mention every one of the tracks, but just to share the information that lies ahead on the calendar for us all, okay? But remember, learn from your experiences, all right? Turn the page into 2026. Remember, ticket structure, money management. Look, we all like to swing for the fences, all right? I do that myself. Some days I get a little carried away because I want involvement. It's not just the races I handicap, because I won't bet a race unless I handicap the race. It's managing your capital and rallying around your victories and absorbing the losses, taking the good with the bad, and moving forward, taking forward steps, not getting distracted, and keeping your focus to the absolute finish. Listen, you love the game. You're a horse player. You want to make it enjoyable too. Do we all get bad beats and have frustrating days? Absolutely. You know, I've been having those days for 50 years. Some of you have those days more often. And if you're going weeks, even months, with your bottom line not where it needs to be, then you have to sharpen your saw. You have to adjust. You have to learn from your mistakes. You got to grow. Growth is essentially important in racing and everywhere in life, you know. Let's turn the page now. Let's talk about 2026, and I'll have some closing thoughts about approaching the new year with a sense of passion, promise, and purpose. I always say we got to get better. Sharpen your saw. Don't be someone that stays on course of bad habits. Eradicate bad habits or negative habits. Eradicate negative people. If anything is making you feel uncomfortable, just eliminate the circumstance or the person from your life. You don't need to have worry in your life, because when you worrying takes away from your peace. Now, sure, being a father of 2 amazing kids. My daughter, by the way, she's 25. She'll be 26 in March. And tonight, she's actually in Austria. She went away with her boyfriend, Austria, Vienna, for New Year's Eve. I'm excited for her. Wonderful opportunity for her to have a great experience in Europe. And my son, he's going to be home spending time with his girlfriend of many years, Diana. And my point I'm making when I brought up my kids, we can't help it. We'll always be concerned and worry about our kids or our significant other or our parents or our neighbors or other close friends. People we care about, by default, we worry about because the life itself is unfair. There's, you know, year over year, month over month, year over year, it doesn't get any easier. But I think it's really important when you take stock in yourself, whether it's family life, relationships, your work life. Remember, I work full time. I do this because I'm passionate about this. I work very hard full time. And I like to lead by example in working hard. So hard work will always be valued and respected. Also, like I said, you keep moving forward with the positives. So eliminate or eradicate the negatives. Only you can identify what the negatives are in your life and embrace the positives. Make the positives even stronger and go forward without any of that negativity because it'll only weigh you down. Okay? It's the best advice I can give. I've been around a lot longer than many of you guys, ladies and gentlemen. So to win at the game of life is to position yourself to avoid distractions and keep that heart pumping, being happy. Because when you're happy and you're healthy, you're the richest person, everything falls into place, okay? I know it's a cliche to say, health is wealth. Well, it is. As you get older, it doesn't become easier. It becomes more difficult to maintain a sense of well-being. That's physically, mentally, and emotionally. I'm sorry if I went on, but I'm going to sound off by saying, let's look forward to a lot of awesome enjoyment and great racing days. And let's look forward to a new year filled with, hopefully for all of us, profound joy, the very best of good health, and excitement and happiness, and to keep moving forward in a positive direction together. All right? And you know what? From a relationship perspective, I've met some really great people on this channel and my former channel, where I spent 8 years over at Past the Wire. And I value every relationship I've ever made and maintained, okay? Sometimes you have to embrace change and not be intimidated by it. So I think it's a favorable thing to embrace change. I think it's a favorable thing to build new relationships along the way. And maybe some of you guys I'll be having conversation with on the phone. You can always email me with a question. I always say that. I take the time to acknowledge the comments. Yeah, there's going to be some haters out there by default, but that's the nature of society, the society that we live in. Social media is inundated with haters. And I'm on social media, I have the Facebook social media, the Twitter social media, the Instagram, because I'm so passionate about my cooking. I share my cooking on there. I share my family and friends and my love for sports. But this channel, I try to keep it, together to cover the sport of kings, because that's what you're here for. But the reason why I'm talking about the other stuff, you guys are an extension in that regard as well. For example, sports cards. My son and I, we love to collect baseball and football cards. I also collect some basketball, but I have a significant collection of baseball cards and football cards. We love the hobby. And I'm part of those groups as well. So, a lot going on. But let's look forward to a big, big racing campaign. Remember, Structure your tickets great. Manage your capital. Be confident in your ways. Gather pearls from where you can get them that make sense. Make yourself accountable. And in the grand scheme of things, as long as we're healthy, we have everything. And in this sport, remember, success is the fun you have. And you want to keep growing. Because when you keep growing, you keep moving forward. Don't ever let things get you down. And don't ever let this sport affect your personal life. All right? I appreciate you watching tonight. Happiest New Year to everybody. God bless you. God bless your families. And forever and a day, let's go get 'em.